Hello, friends, and welcome to Kandi Unfiltered. Today we are in the Grace space, and we have Terri and Madison from Pretties Grace with us. I'm so glad
this
that
young lady, and
I
I
do know this young lady. This is where we keep life real and we talk about our faith and we have a lot of fun, right? And we are going to be recapping today. In the last episode, you saw where we did the ribbon cutting for Pretties and Grace, and we're going to recap that and talk about what a special day that was. We're also going to be talking about what it means to celebrate and serve others. And we're going to have to take a deep breath because we are in vacation season.
Yes,
So we have all the things that, customers are really wanting for that beach trip, going to the beach. So grab your iced coffee, take a deep breath, and let's dig in today.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Pretties Grace, a faith-based boutique offering high-quality home decor and gifts at prices for every budget. From stunning vases and greenery to statement seasonal pieces for every holiday, plus the sweetest gifts, they truly have it all. Pretties Grace has 3 locations, their main store in the heart of downtown Benton, along with shops in Malvern and Fayetteville. You can also browse and shop online at prettiesandgrace.com. A huge thank you to Pretties Grace for sponsoring this episode.
What an honor to have my daughter here with us today. Drug her day. We could tell.
We took her down off the hill and said, as she, there's the phrase voluntold.
That's right. Madison, it's a rhetorical question. Madison, you want to come on the podcast with us to start?
Yeah, I'll come.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you here with us today. And let's start with the ribbon cutting. It was so much fun.
It was really a dream.
Yeah.
Madison can attest, every time I plan an event, something out of the norm or something special, I'm a nervous Nelly.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, I'm okay really until the week of. And
Yeah.
the week of, I'm barking orders and I'm nervous, and I'm like, I ask, how many times do I say what? Will people come?
Now, you were like, when people come, I'm like, Terri, people are
I
going to come.
really hope
Yeah.
people come, because this is actually ribbon cutting number 2.
Yeah.
It is a relocation, I guess.
Right. But you and I are so much alike in that we pour our hearts and souls into what we do.
Yes.
And we don't just plan for, like, oh, please come over. We really put our heart and soul into it. We put a lot of investment because we want people to feel special when they come to our stuff, and we put so much into it. We want people to see how much we love them, and we shared that with them.
And my team
Yeah.
puts so much into it. Obviously, we've talked about 1,000 times, I have a day job. And so I have a lot of delegating, and then David and I, we do a lot leading up to those. And we want it to be such a fun experience that people can't wait to come back or can't wait to bring a friend, and I wanted everyone to really see the specialness of the space.
Right.
It's, I can only think about, we know that the church is not the building, it's the people. Well, I wanted, we have the building now. I wanted the people to really experience what our hearts feel about having this space.
Right.
And, the weather was a little crummy.
I was going to say, we had to pray for the weather.
Yes.
We had to pray.
We did. We cut that ribbon outside, and it went fine. We had, a lot going on that day. I may have overbooked myself trying to do all the things, but the community really did show up for us. I don't know how many people were there.
It was probably one of the biggest ribbon cuttings that I've ever been to as far as people, but it was such a it was such a fun experience, but you could just really feel the love within the space. Madison, what did like that day, what were you feeling? Because you got to talk to a lot of people that are normal customers that come in, but you got to also meet business owners that are part of the chamber coming in and seeing the space there.
Yeah, no, it was really exciting. I was so excited for Terry because I know you were stressed out the whole week, but I had no doubt that people were gonna show up and show out. And so we had a lot of great people come, and just seeing everyone mingle together, just having a great time and big smiles on their faces, and walking around the store and seeing everything and people's faces just lighting up. It was really encouraging to see. And yeah, even like the other business owners and the customers, they were really excited about our new space and
Yeah.
just super supportive. So that was really, great to see.
Right, right. From my perspective, being able to, for that particular episode, you and I started, you and I finished, but you didn't necessarily know what I was doing in the in between.
It was a complete surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really was. And I'll be honest, I watched it many times, and I don't want to get emotional, but it brought me to tears.
Sit here, Terry.
Some of them, even hearing my own child say, we long for the day that she can sit back and enjoy this and not
Yeah.
work so hard, hearing other business owners. I mean, they didn't have to say those things and do those things.
Right.
And it really warmed my heart. And, and to be able to pray over our community, our downtown,
Right.
and our space with so many people. I mean, I know half a dozen people say it's the first time I've ever went to one where they prayed over it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was politically correct or not, but I didn't care.
No,
I don't. But
Yeah. That's the heart of who you are.
Well,
I mean, everything
part of what Pretties and Grace is.
Yes.
So
Yes. That's fundamentally where we get our worldview for life and for business and, as business owners. And it was something special. And, if you go back, and I would really encourage you to go back and listen to that episode. We did get to speak to community leaders. We also spoke to everyday customers that come in. And the thing that you heard, and we've talked about, but the thing that you heard over and over and over again was they'll pray with you. Right? They'll pray with you. People consistently talked about the prayer box, the Bible, how they can come in. They feel like home. They know that they can be prayed for. And so that was consistent with almost everyone that I spoke with that talked about that aspect of coming into Pretties and Grace.
Well, and not only do we sell items, but we try to create an experience to where we can create a conversation about the Lord.
Right.
Because, even if they're just there to buy a gift, you almost can't, if you have any interaction at all, you have an open door almost to, and he's creating opportunities for us to talk about our faith and talk about our Lord. And obviously Madison and Cindy and the girls, they get much more on the daily than I do.
Right.
But they're so great to share with me, things that, ways they've experienced with people. Things that they've had happen on the daily.
Right.
And we'll talk about it in a minute, but yesterday I sat at my desk in corporate America and prayed for a young man I've never laid eyes on.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But Massa, I want to ask you real quick, because you are in the store and, and you go to the different stores and do the social media content and everything, but you meet with customers and everything. What is like one of your favorite stories that you personally have encountered with a customer?
Honestly, there's been so many because I was trying to think about one time that stuck out, but I just think it really is the day-to-day customers, whether it is just they're coming in, they're looking for a gift or wanting something for their coffee table. But then there are other times that customers come in and I get to talking with them and they feel comfortable to share something so vulnerable with me. I've had people tell me I have surgery this week, or I found out like my mom has cancer. And so just having those really sweet, intimate moments with customers that they trust us with that kind of information and they feel comfortable to share that with us. And so that's just an opportunity to create connections and relationships with these customers. And then even as simple as we have a customer that comes in all the time. She's been coming in pretty much since we've opened. And I remember us talking about, she came in right before Mother's Day and she knows me about like me being up in Fayetteville, I mean, being married. So she always asks me like, how are you doing and everything. So that's really cool that she knows me like that. And
Right.
it's just because she comes in a lot. But I remember before Mother's Day, I had asked her, so do you have any plans for Mother's Day? And she goes, well, actually, my birthday is tomorrow. And I was like, no way, my birthday's tomorrow too. And so it was just like, it's like little things like that with customers where you get to share those sweet little moments and bond. So,
Well,
yeah.
you know, one time I was at the store on a Saturday. I told you about the little girl one time. I'm not
Right,
going to tell that story again, but there was a lady that popped in. Actually, I think it was during the week. I may have had a day off, or maybe it was before the tent sale and I was off preparing. But for whatever reason, I was in the store during the day, and a lady came in and she was looking, just kind of walking around, and we had the Christian music playing like we always do. And I walked over and spoke with her. I think there was several in the store, but by the time the store cleared out, she was there. It's just she and I. And I said, "Are you still okay? Can I, do you have any questions? Or, I'm happy to help if there's anything." And she looked at me and she said, "I'm burying my husband. I have an appointment in about 30 minutes to make the arrangements." And she said, "I got here early because I didn't want to be late. And I decided just to come here because this is where I knew I could be comfortable here and get some peace." And she said, "I do feel better." And I prayed with her, and she was as strong as I've ever seen any. I mean, you could tell that the Lord was just holding her up. I was a bundle of tears because, all the places, I mean, she could have do what we all do and sit in the parking lot before we go in and maybe make a phone call or scroll her phone or whatever it was. But she said, "I think I'm just going to go over to Pretties and Grace, and because I know I'll feel the Lord there."
Yeah.
And Cindy was working that day too, and Cindy and I both had to just take a step back and recover after that one.
Right.
And but it just, I always thought, Lord, that's what I want. I want anybody to feel comfortable coming in here
Yes.
and feeling His presence, because He goes before us and He goes behind us and He is there. And
Right.
I will die on that hill. And I will not change the way I do my business. And it may not be for everybody, but that's the person I want to come in.
It's funny that you say that, Terry, because when I started Alba Adoption, back when I started it, you didn't advertise through Google Ads on, the internet. Everything, you had the yellow pages. Right? Yellow pages. And I took a full page ad out, and I had my scripture in there. And my rep said, "You may not want to put that in there because you could lose some people." And I said, "Oh, no." No. The people who come will come because they're meant to be here. And if this scripture turns them away, then I'm just going to have to trust the Lord in that, because this is fundamentally who I am. And I will not bend to the ways of the world to appease people.
Absolutely.
And I live by that in my business and in my personal life, and in every aspect of my life. I will not bend to
Unapologetic.
Yes, absolutely. Well, talking about those special moments, you did have a very special moment this last week, right?
I did.
And so it was Tane, one of your customers, and her son Declan. So tell us about that.
Well,
This is a very special story. You want to listen to that?
So I have not had the pleasure of meeting them personally, But Cindy and Rob, they are so observant, especially Mr. Rob. He's funny. He's kind of like he watches out for everyone.
Yeah, he's a quiet watcher.
He is. He's very observant, and he notices people, and he remembers. In fact, I'll tell you a minute how he remembered. So he was, I think, going and coming from the warehouse or running errands and whatnot, and they were sitting in front of the store with a sketch pad in front of our window.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, right now we have our summery patriotic window with the yellow boots with the red flowers, and we have the flags hanging.
Right.
It's just a real bright and summery kind of a vibe. But the yellow boots are just lined up across, and we had pink in the spring, and now we have yellow. And I think they're so cute. There's a little summer touch.
Yes.
And he was very intrigued and drawn to our window and wanted to draw a picture of it. And so later on that afternoon, she's an artist, and she brought in this portrait, or it's not a portrait, it's a painting, painting of the yellow boot with the flowers. And she also shared with me his writing, or his picture, just a depiction of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is nothing but pure goodness in people. And I don't want to say that
special.
Our window drew I'm not calling attention to the window.
Beautiful window.
Well, I have a lot of fun with the windows. The windows are fun.
I love the window displays, both here and here the places.
Of all the places downtown, chose to sit in front and wanted to draw that window. And then she felt giving enough to later bring it to us. So we framed it, and I will kid you not, this will forever be in my store.
Oh, absolutely.
It's one of my most cherished pieces of all the beauty in there.
Yeah.
Is that just because of the pure goodness and kindness that they showed us.
Yes.
And I just get a text from Cindy yesterday and said, a customer brought this by. She painted it for you because her son loved the window. And I said, what? Who? Where? I mean, and so Rob goes, well, I know they're friends with the Burger Shack people.
Right.
So he goes down to Burger Shack, finds out who they are, calls them, gets their number from he sought out who this was, brought the little story, and now we're Facebook friends. And I saw where she had even earlier shared that they had went downtown today, and it got a little hot in front of our store, so they moved on down to the Royal Theater, and they sketched down there. They were just out of the house.
Right.
And he was drawn to the boot and the flower, and
he got inspiration at Pretties Grace.
But I mean, I think he doesn't know it yet, but he inspired me.
Yeah.
Like it kind of broke me a little bit yesterday, in a good way.
Right.
In a good way.
Just how precious and special.
And I mean, we can have a dozen stories like that where people are just pure goodness. And I will forever, I mean, I can't imagine anything sweeter than, that is just a true servant's heart. Like Jesus tells us in the Bible that we should be.
Yes.
And her, and being a fellow mother, her guiding him that it's perfectly okay to just sit where you are, draw what you see, and we'll make it pretty and we'll give it to them. Right. I mean, what an example.
And the fact that it's a retail store window, right? Boots that inspires this young man. I mean, it's just priceless. It's just priceless. You never know that because I know how much pride you take into your window displays. You and Madison both. I know the pride that you take, and we'll get it decorated, step back, look at it, do adjustments. How does it photo during the day? How does it photo during the night?
She and I both have Googled on many, many times, how do you get a glare off a window? How do you, because you almost have to come at night in your PJs, right? And
we've done it.
Taking pictures. I mean, I've dried him out at 10 o'clock at night after it gets dark to see how it looks at night.
I think I told you, Terry, I've passed by the window and it looks so beautiful tonight.
And you know, to be like, I mean, we may be a list a mile long. Maybe she does this forever, but you know what? She and Declan will never know how much that act of kindness meant to me personally.
Yeah.
And as I posted about it, because I couldn't wait to share, that's what we're about. And
Right.
and Cindy sends me another text. She goes, I just teared up again after reading your words because it was so special. I mean, she touched many that day. And I you know, I don't want to share too much
Right.
about them. I don't know them personally, or their story, but that young man and his mother touched me deeply yesterday.
Right.
And I just long for people to feel that when they walk in Pretties and Grace.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch people like that. You know, they just, it's just good stuff.
It is good stuff.
I mean,
it's
just
really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. So I know that your heart for serving others and your customers. And so by the time this will air, you would have already spoken at the Civitan is having a little brunch
Yes.
to raise money. And this will be actually being released the same weekend. And this is a ministry that is very close to your husband's heart, to David's.
Yes.
And of course Abba is too. But
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity supporter. Now, I have a list of my long, but
Civitan is his baby that he loves. He loves
he
them.
loves to, you know, David is a man of few words until you get to know him, and then he's silly and
I interviewed him on at the ribbon cutting, and I said, "Come on, David, I've got to get Mr. Pretties on here," and he goes, "Make it snappy."
you know, but he goes, he works for Sparklight, used to be
Right.
Fidelity. I want to keep
Right.
wanting to say Fidelity, but they have what they call Angel Days.
Right.
And they, people can go and volunteer at various places, and he spends his Angel Days at Civitan.
Yes.
And he goes and he hangs out with the residents and whatever they're doing that day.
But he loves people. He may be a man of few words, but he loves people, and it's so clear. It comes through so clear that he does.
He's a good man. He really is. And he the first time, I believe it was around Christmas, he went, and I don't remember, he went a couple of times, but one time he was serving food with them. One time they were wrapping presents, and he said, we just use gift bags at my house. What do you mean wrapping presents? He was like, I'm way out of my element here.
We put them in a bag and put some tissue and call it done.
But he hung out with those, the residents there, and some of the people who are that are served by Civitan services. And he left there and he goes, I don't care what it is. If they ask you, the answer will always be yes. The answer will always be yes. And when we have Glitz and Garland, Civitan always has a booth.
Yeah.
And it's where they make things and they sell them. They make ornaments. They have art. They have
Right.
all kinds of arts and crafts, things that they themselves have made.
Right.
And he, you know, anytime we break away to go see what all's there, I mean, I'm anxious to go shop. He's a beeline into, we got to find Civitan. And
Yes.
he wants to buy, and I mean, we have many Civitan ornaments. We have Civitan things in our home. And I mean, he is just, they stole his heart. And so Jeff Dyer approached me. I think he's the community development or relations director now, approached me at Glitz and Garland last year. He goes, I got an idea and I want you to, he said, you're the person I need. And I was like, okay, what is it? And they're having a Christmas in July.
Yeah.
And they're having, every table is decorated in a different Christmas theme. And so different businesses have purchased tables.
Right.
And they're responsible for decorating their table. And then they'll have a little donation bucket for each table, and the one that gets the most donations will win the best table. Obviously.
Right.
So you put money where your favorite decor is.
Right.
Well, you know I'm all about that.
Right.
And
We know who's going to win.
So, well, I don't know that I'll win, but I sure am going to try. But I said, oh, I'm all about that. We can do this and this and this. And he goes, but there's one more thing. And I was like, what, Jeff? He goes, I want you to speak I said, speak about what? He goes, whatever you think. Whatever you think whatever God lays on your heart. So I've had 6 months
Yeah.
or ish to kind of think about what I want to say. And, I'm not a prepared speech kind of girl. I'm more of a wing it, but I do need to prepare something because I'm getting a little nervous, in front of people. But Civitan's mission is just about to serve and love on people.
Yeah.
And that's where my heart is. And so that I'm going to just talk. I mean, I've dug into scripture a little bit. And, part of serving also is accepting being served.
Yeah.
And that, there was a time when my daughter, she goes on mission trips a lot. And my son-in-law is leaving in 2 weeks to go to Kenya for 10 days. And, one time David and I both said, I'd like to do that. And they both looked at me and said, Mom, I don't really think you can do it. I just think the heat would get you, the this, the that, your body is just, I was much overweight when they said that. But I mean, I still, they're right. I'm not used to manual labor and manual hard, physical activity. And I decided that day, I said, okay, well then this is my mission field. Right where I sit is my mission field. And not long after that, Pretties Grace was born.
Right.
And, I decided to start a Bible study at my office. And wherever I am, that is my mission field. And part of what Christ instills in us is to serve others and be served and put yourself under their influence. And, And, one day I walked out of at the other store, we had a homeless community that lived right in our backyard.
Yeah.
And I won't lie and say at times it was a little frightening. At times it was a little scary.
Right.
Those that walked around, I mean, I have young girls that were there, at night or after dark. And we always made it a point that we were there to walk out with them because, after dark. And so many times they would ask, can we clean your windows? Can we have money for this or that? And a few times David would slip them a few bucks. And I got to, after I digging into the word, I thought, why didn't I take that gentleman over to Subway and sit with him and find out his story? Why is he there? Why is he? Obvious reasons. I'm afraid sometimes for my safety.
Right.
But what would Jesus have done?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have just handed him a $5 bill for a slice of pizza. He would have said, let's go have a bite.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning about serving as much as I am going to maybe teach about serving.
Right.
As I'm digging in deeper, I've learned that Christ wouldn't have just, I laugh with a friend of mine, Brooke, where he said, sometimes I'm not good at doing, I'm good at writing checks. Sometimes I don't have time to always be at every event, but I'm good to make a donation. But Christ wouldn't have just got his checkbook out.
Right.
Jesus Christ walked with them.
That's right.
Ate with them and washed their feet. Hours before they knew what they were going to do with him.
Yeah.
So,
when that homeless camp was back there, we had put together backpacks and I loaded up the kids. You remember when we did this? And we're, was collecting things and took food and all that. And I wanted the kids to see that, this is what a lot of people like that I work with, this is how they live. And I took them and, some city officials got the word that I was doing that. And they were like wanting to warn me, and I'm like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I serve a mighty God. And, people were like, you're taking your kids. I'm like, yes, because they need to see. These are the people that we serve in our community.
My friend Becky, who's also my employer during the day, we put together basically freezer-sized Ziploc bags, and in it we had a pair of socks and some mints and a toothbrush and toothpaste. And I got some Bibles from our Bible ministry and stuff in there, and some necessities, deodorant, like some hygiene things.
Right.
And because every stoplight, there's someone needing help. And instead of money, we've just started handing those out. And I think they're mostly gone now. I don't. The box is empty or moved. but I kept one in my back, and like a couple of times I've handed them out rather than money, and they're so appreciative.
Yes.
You know, and I've heard over and over and over, you don't know what they're spending that money on, blah blah.
It's not up to us to know.
It is not. It is myself to have a giving heart and a servant's heart, like my father taught me to be.
Yeah.
And after I give, it's out of my hand.
That's right.
It's
That's right. We're only called to be obedient to what the Lord calls us to do.
Right.
We're not called to question
Right.
what someone's motives are. We're just called to be obedient, and that's a lot of people miss that, and what they do in that is they miss the blessings that they receive in serving others and just letting it go. These people are not accountable to me. I'm giving because this is what God's called me to do, not
So many
because I'm
times.
and I get blessed.
Yeah. Well, and so
get
many
blessed.
times I'll try to help someone in a situation, and oh, I can't let you do that. And that's the first thing I say is, don't you take away my blessing.
That's right.
Don't you do it.
That's right.
And usually that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
And they get it.
Yes.
I learned something that day, and they learned something that day.
Right.
And obviously, we don't have deep enough pockets to save the world.
Right.
But God's not calling us to save the world.
No.
He's already done that.
That's right. That's exactly right.
He's already done that.
Yeah. So the title of your talk is going to be What It Means to Serve Others.
I haven't really gotten that far, but
Have it?
that's
Okay.
the gist of
That's the
it.
gist of
Yes,
it. Okay.
and how to be an obedient servant.
Yes.
And honestly, it's kind of my goals for serving others,
Right.
because I haven't mastered it.
Yeah.
I don't feel qualified.
We're never going to master it, are we?
No, but I'm very honored to get that Jeff, and has enough faith in me to do it right. And I read about Civitan's missions, and they that's all what it's all about, is just serving those who have a need.
Right.
Have a need that we can maybe fulfill. And he tells so many stories of how he's been blessed by those. I just can't wait to get in there and had them sit at my table and have brunch with them.
Right.
They're excited. They're all invited to be with us, and it does so much good for them too, to be included.
Right.
And such a fun day, and Christmas trees. I mean, can you just imagine the brightness of the day?
I'm gonna need some Christmas in July.
Yes,
And
girl. On a selfish note, I've gotten a peek at some of the new Christmas. I'm gonna have a few of those.
I know you've been telling me about that. Well, Madison, what has been, because you also have such a servant's heart as well. So what has been for your life one of your favorite ways to serve other people?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I feel like for me, I'm someone who just loves to be there for someone as like a listening ear, and that's kind of like, I feel like a way for me to serve others is just allowing people to speak their mind and have that comfortability with me to share vulnerable stuff or what's going on in their life. I feel like I'm really good at like comforting people and being there for people, and I feel like that's always been a good way of me for serving others. So
Right.
Wait, and I'm old enough to be her mother. I mean,
we read it.
yeah, but I can honestly say she's one of my dearest friends. I mean, we've had deep talks, and we've shared a lot of laughs. We've,
You have the same haircut.
yeah, she had a funny you. Oh, she's much cuter. And I want to look like that. Why remind me to look like that? But really and truly, I feel like we have such a good friendship, and I share with her a lot of my frustrations. I mean, she sees me when I am nervous and when I am stressed, and she's such a good, calming, sweet spirit. I mean, she really is. And I can only imagine like your friends that are your age and your peers. I mean, I bet she really is a good.
Yeah, she's always good. She's always been one that her
Even
friends would go to and seek advice on. As a matter of fact, it was funny because last night Mallory and I were sitting in the driveway talking, and she had said something. I was like, well, I hadn't seen that. And I went on social media, and one of the first things that popped up on Facebook was, if I want sound advice, I go to my oldest. If I need a partner in crime, I call on my second board. And I just, because it's so true. It's so true.
You're the oldest.
Yes. It's so true. That could not have been more true. But so we are, I mean, we're talking about Christmas in July. It is hot outside.
Yes.
It is hot, and people are vacationing right now. It's
I'm almost
vacation
there. I'm so ready.
vacation season, and baseball for Madison's family and her and her husband. It's in the heat. You know, I've always thought about that, like baseball players. Like, how in the world? I mean, in the summertime, it just
Well,
hot.
thankfully, because I was in Illinois last week, and being up north, I mean, it was hot, but thank goodness it was not Arkansas hot.
Right.
So, like, because even some of the people who were local there was like, it's so hot outside. I'm like, you have no idea.
You don't have the heat and the humidity up here like we do.
Well, my son played honestly for the same team Griffin did
Yeah.
in college. And I mean, all the way growing up, when you play competitively, you have as much cold baseball as you have warm baseball.
Yes.
But I like I can
Yes,
get
because
warm.
it's the longest sport ever.
Yes.
It goes like, I'm like, so when does Griffin get a break? Like,
Never.
you know,
Never.
like, I mean, like
Never.
March, April, that's it. Like, if that.
They start playing in February sometimes.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm ready. We're in the heart of what we call the dog days of summer
Yes,
right now,
yes.
and the store is in a bit of a transition.
Well, we brought some stuff from the store here. Let's talk about it. We have these, which I love.
They're all the rage right now.
They are all the rage. The little, what do you call them? Scarf necklaces.
Yes, I brought.
And of course, I debuted my ring from you guys. You know, as y'all had just got them in the day before.
Yes.
And I was like, Terry, I know you thought about me when you ordered this. So,
Well, and I love these, and they're we have a whole. I mean,
yeah, so
many colors and different hearts and coins and
that cross
the
one
cross, the pearl cross. And we all are modeling today.
Yeah, we're modeling. Look at this beautiful
Cross.
cross. Isn't that gorgeous?
It is. And we honestly can't keep these. They are so pretty. And honestly, if once you get the scarf, if you wanted to be able to take the pendant off and put it on another scarf, if you needed a different look, but you love the medallion, you could do that.
What do you have, Madison? Like a coin?
Yeah.
Yours like a coin?
With a gold little rim around it.
That's so
really cute.
appropriate then that your papa collected coins, isn't it?
Yes. Well, and that's a good two-tone. Two-tone is all the rage. People are mixing the metals, and that's
I
a
have
good.
to, because sometimes I love mixed metals.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. For a long time, I didn't, but now I'm evolving, I guess. But we have those that are in the store in all kinds of colors. I probably have an inventory of 150 right now.
A lot.
A lot. So those are all the rage. I know all of the boutiques are selling them right and left, and we are too. And so that's something that's kind of new and fun at the store, and a very good transitional piece. We have several, like yours would go into fall. Mine would too. All of them really would. If you need just a little pop of something, something fun. We also have trucker hats. We have gotten into the trucker hat game.
Yeah.
And here's one for like Razorback games. It says the South.
Oh, I love
The red, and then most of ours are going to have a faith-based, like make heaven crowded, love like Jesus, y'all need Jesus.
what the? We like that brown. I like the brown.
I do too. Yeah. And we have several coming in. In fact, they've shipped and they will be in. We're going to have a whole hat bar / section is coming pretty soon, probably within the next couple of weeks. We'll have all of our hats in, and then We have
Just in time for back to school shopping.
Yes, and and those I believe will be tax free, like in the tax free weekend. I think
Yeah.
that's considered apparel. So,
Yep.
and then we have all these cute little totes and zipper pouches.
Which is so great for the beach.
And I forgot that I had this in here. These little quick dry towels. We can set that down. I'm sorry. That's kind
The quick dry towel.
and they're reversible. So like one side is like a stripe and the other is a floral. We have
love
probably
that.
12, 15 different styles.
Yeah.
And these have been all the rage this year, and they roll up this small
Right.
to pack. So like if you were just, going for a weekend or
Right.
having to fly somewhere, you could
And what's does it say what the size is on that?
they're a full-size beach towel. Let's see if it says.
And the sand would fall right off of that, not get stuck in the fabric.
4x6.
Okay, 4x6. That's
And
awesome.
then we have these little, they're called chair bands. And like they go around the back of your chair to keep your towel from slipping.
Okay.
When you sit in it, how it always goes down past you.
Yeah.
We have these in various colors. So I just brought some that kind of matched. But these have been big sellers this year. They're a little different than the clips.
Right.
And the clips kind of pop off sometimes.
They do, and they don't fit all chairs.
No, and this is stretchy and kind of holds it. And you can move it up or down wherever you want it to hold. So those are super fun. And then I just brought a couple of our little fruit candles.
I love the fruit candles.
Aren't they sweet? I love them. And obviously our geometry towels. Now these are all the rage. I have several of the summer prints. We still have some patriotic ones that they're red and white and blue, but they're not like flags. You can use them at any time.
Right.
And then we have, I have fall and Christmas coming soon. So, but these are the best gift. If you need a little hostess gift, I can't keep these. I
Right.
cannot keep these. These are amazing, and they're $18, but they're big and they're that waffle. I don't even know what they're kind of called, but they're 100% recycled material, and
That feels like a really good drying towel. I know
Yes.
some of the hand towels that I've bought from Target or something, they're not great to dry.
and after you wash them, they kind of draw up. These don't, and they're amazing.
Well, we actually had a customer come in not too long ago, and she bought a few more of those, but she knew about the geometry towels, and she said she got rid of all of her other kitchen towels and
And she
replaced
slowly
everything with
these.
geometry, and she wanted to get a few more, and she bought some from us.
And so, and we have a blanket in this from this company also, and it's super buttery soft. And so we've got a few of those. I know right now no one's thinking about a blanket. If you live with my husband in Antarctica, then you might have a blanket. And then the only two other things I wanted to show, these are a new little company that we've got. That's a family memory book. And then this one is 18 letters to you. And you could write a letter to your child every birthday and give it to them.
Love that.
Give it to them. And there's questions. There's like a little guide. And then there's just like blank pages too. And my daughter's doing this for Collins.
Of course.
And
I love
give it to them at their graduation, because usually their 18th birthday is around their graduate or their 18th birthday. Either one.
Right.
But I thought this was for the mom who forgot about a baby book or got too busy to do a good baby. This is a really good. Oh, what a gift that would be!
Yeah.
And so
We have even with the baby book. I mean, just seeing some of my my most cherished things that I have from my mom are like her handwritten recipes. Or
not letters.
Yeah, well, I was just going through some of their stuff in their case, and found a little note that she wrote to my dad. Hope you're feeling better. Love, Bev, Kandi, and Danny. And so just finding that, just having that in their handwriting is precious. I love that idea.
And then the family memory book is the same type thing. It's just different highlights of vacations and all the things. and they make a really pretty coffee table book
Right.
as well. But I just thought, what a gift.
Yeah.
Lord, I'd be writing for days if I started. But I guess you could start at any time. If your kids are grown, you could start. But that's just such a sweet gift for maybe new parents.
Yes.
And we're trying to get into. I love to find gifts that you just can't run to Walmart and get.
Right.
Or
something different.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
And that just spoke to me. And so that's something new we're carrying. So right now the store's in still a little bit of patriotic mode. And because if I brought out pumpkins now, I'd probably get laughed at and be called, like the big box stores.
I was going to say, you got to Hobby Lobby at Christmas coming out now. So,
but I would say I go on vacation the first week of August. When I come back, we'll start flipping the fall.
okay.
Yeah, mid August you'll start seeing it. And oh my gosh,
Which is mine and Madison's favorite time of the year.
Terry's too.
I love Christmas. And following Christmas, like we're Christmas girls right here.
Yeah.
It's like,
But fall is, and I had a touch of Christmas at the new store last year because we were semi there, but I've not had a pumpkin in that store yet. And seeing what's coming in is making me have the fever. And we have even whimsical Halloween things that are so fun and exciting. I've added some new vendors that I haven't had before. So it's not going to be the same tired Pretties and Grace. We'll have some of our staples that we love.
right.
Well, of course, the blooms and the greens. We're starting to put a few of those on the floor just to kind of transitional
Right.
pieces.
Right.
But it's going to be fun.
That's,
The store's going to, let's just say, I'm going to tease a little bit. The store is going to be much different this time next month when we're sitting here.
And I'm excited. We have some big announcements coming, so make sure that you're watching the social media for Pretties and Grace. Madison, why don't you tell them what the social medias are?
Well, just Pretties and Grace on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're on all three of those platforms.
All three of those. And you can actually do online shopping on prettiesandgrace.com.
Yes. And we have local free delivery locally in Saline County, and even a little bit to Little Rock. Central Arkansas, within reason, we can get it to Malvern. We can get it toward Little Rock way. We do free delivery. And then I have to sit down and look at my shipping. Right now, we do a flat rate $12.99 shipping, and if you spend $150 or more, it's free. Obviously, shipping is an expense that's out of this world. So I'm hopeful that, and I'm praying about that. I'm hopeful that I don't have to raise the shipping price or lower the threshold. It just kind of depends, and it might depend on the item.
Yeah.
But as a small business, that's the tariffs and all the shipping is really it's really becoming a line item that I have to reevaluate.
Right.
But right now I'll take advantage of that. And obviously we have local store pickup for free.
So you have here in Benton and then Malvern, and then they have a location in Fayetteville, Arkansas in the
Shops of Brick City.
Yeah, Shops of Brick City. So absolutely. So we were talking about this time next month, there's going to be a little bit of change in the store that we're really excited about. Please be watching for that. But you've got back to school shopping, which would be tax-free weekend coming up. I believe that's August 2nd and 3rd. Is that right?
First weekend in August.
Yes. And so when you think about the tax-free shopping, people are thinking about going back to school, they're going to the big box stores. But I just want to encourage you to really think about that shopping local into your local stores, because you get the tax-free there also.
Yes. Obviously, it's certain items.
Right.
And we are working a lot of more like apparel under the apparel category into our inventory. And we're going to do a Christian line of T-shirts, and we're going to kind of branch into that a little bit.
Right.
So all of that should be available for tax-free weekend. And where faith meets fashion, right?
That's right.
That's right. And so we're excited about that. And it's Prime Week for Amazon, obviously, and I put a little blip this week that says it's a prime time to shop local.
It is a prime time. It's always a prime time to shop
Because
local.
usually, I mean, Amazon's not going to miss one customer, but Pretties and Grace will.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Yes.
truly, and
Yes.
all of our neighbors need you right now, and
Yeah.
we're almost through the J months for 2025.
Right.
And I will say, I don't know if it's the move downtown or if the Lord's provision over us or what. We've had a really good June and July, much better than last year. But it is obviously a time when people are spending money on experiences and back to school and maybe remodels or vacations and
Right.
different things. They're not shopping for stuff.
Right.
There's not a lot of holiday shopping.
But Terry, you say, they're spending money on experiences and on vacation. And we completely, as you said that, I'm looking right past Madison. Is that a weekend bag down there?
It is.
Let's look at that. Sorry. I was like, we didn't even point that step out. We got a beach bag right there. Oh,
That's actually
every day.
that is, and it has cooler type material inside, so you can make cold.
Oh, and it zips.
Yes, zips, and it has like a cooler inside.
Oh, I love that.
So you can. I mean, it's probably not going to stay all day, but if you want to take a few waters to the beach,
Waters or, yeah.
And then we have the cutest
The little weekend
quilted
bag.
totes, the weekenders. We have all sizes and even the smaller zip things that match. We have a whole new line and of different prints, and
So
I just brought a few.
as you're planning your little weekend way or going to the beach, I mean, that is so cute.
And your college girls,
Yeah.
your
Oh,
moms,
yeah.
you're going to want them to come home to see you. And if
Yes.
you don't want to pack the big suitcase, they can just throw everything in a little weekend bag.
That's right.
We
That's
have
right.
some that are perfect for like toiletries, or
Right.
a little over the shoulder. Lots of, and I'll let the girls kind of help me. The younger girls kind of pick out some of the prints so that I'm not old and
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah. As soon as you said that, I mean, it's like my eyes went down there. I was like, oh, that's a weekend bag down there that we did not point out.
yes, I forgot.
But I love that little cooler tote there.
Yeah, we have a couple of different ones that have different sayings on them. I think one says vacation, maybe, or beach, or I can't remember what all they say. But we have
Of course,
several.
if you want a canvas tote bag and you want it to say something special, customized, Madison can do that for you.
Madison's voluntold to use her talent to.
With you and I both. It's
In
like,
fact, there's something in my notes that says, have Madison make me a honey's church bag. Because that's what the boys haul it. My grandsons, when they go with it, they know they have their crayons and different things. Where's honey's church bag? I thought, I need one that literally says honey's
church bag. That's right. That is cute. That's very cute. So just think about that as you're looking at vacation, and you're looking at tax-free shopping weekend. Pretties and Grace has got some awesome things, and they're moving more into bringing some apparel in there, and we can't wait to spotlight some of that. So
Right. And obviously, if your lake weekends and all of the things, we have lots of little gifty things. If you need a gift, you could we could put together a little package for you, a little care package, or whatever.
if I'm going somewhere and I need to get a gift for someone, or I have a friend who has a birthday, Pretties and Grace is my stop. That's where I go. I mean, my daughter who works there gets things from Pretties and Grace. I'm like, I know you work there, but here. I think what was your Easter basket? Almost everything was Pretties and Grace. So,
Well, we just really like to try to, honestly, everything in the store is literally handpicked.
yeah.
And I try to obviously go with the trends also, but I want it to be something that's going to be meaningful and maybe last beyond just, a trend.
That's right. That's right.
And, we're heavy home decor too. I love all of the home decor items, but we have really actually won. We were best gift shop this year. And those honors are not lost on me because we have really, really worked hard to be someone's first stop if you need a gift. Even
Like
if it's
the
candle or the stones.
The stones are some of my favorite. The candles are awesome. I love the candles, but I love the stones. They're just they're so precious, and the sayings that you can get on them and the meanings behind them. I personally love the
Yes.
stones.
Yes. And, at Christmas, I mean, obviously, when you buy for your family and your kids, they want the gaming systems and they want this and they want that. But there's always so many people in your life that you need just a little something special.
Yes.
And that's what I want us to be, is the something special place.
Yes.
And you may have, maybe you're taking, all your family on a vacation, but you want something to wrap under the tree and you need just a little something special. There's no doubt you can find something there.
Right.
And I'm doing a little more for men too in my thinking. We're
I know
pretty
you had
early
you had the little compass. Oh, that was so nice. I really liked
and
that.
we have a few manly little what I would consider like stocking stuffer type,
Right.
or just a little something extra to put with the big gift or
Right.
whatever. Or if there's a special, male that's lost someone, or just somebody special in your life, I'm trying to include more of the masculine things.
Right.
And I'm thinking along that lines for Christmas too. So, but yeah, we're transitioning into a really more of a gift shop than a home decor almost.
Right. Massa, what's like one of your favorite like gifty things there at Pretties and Grace? What is?
Honestly, the scripture stones.
Yeah.
Honestly, when someone comes in and I ask them, what can I help you with? And they say, well, I'm looking for a gift. That is the first thing I show them. I usually do show them a few other things, but they always like, no, I want the scripture stone. Usually 9 times out of 10, people are going to choose a scripture stone.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I'm not there on the daily, so I get obviously I get reports of all the sales, and as God is my witness, I could almost say 99% of the time we sell a stone every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we don't have a big day at all, every order almost is
Right.
gonna have
And
a
you've got the stone, and then you've got like the coaster ones, which
stone.
like I bought like 12 of those or something like that for the house. I'm like, and then the ones that are like the magnets, right? And so I
Those are like $8.
Yeah.
$9, so $8 or $9.
yeah, so like every mom that I work with, you all had like you had these little bags, the little canvas bags, and so I have those, and then I stuff the little scripture stone, the magnet in there, and then the wood heart, and then I have some little scripture things that I put in each one, and then a necklace to remind her that she's priceless, and so that is such a great little. I love giving those to my mom, and almost everything in there comes from Pretties and Grace,
I love that.
and I love giving those to them because it's something, everything in that, including the bag, has meaning. And it's something that's so sweet. It's not overwhelming at all, but
It's just a little moment.
every little
Yeah.
piece in there has meaning.
Well, and the stones are mined near the city of Ephesus.
Yes.
And so, I mean, wow.
Right.
And the price point is extremely affordable.
Yes.
The artwork is done in the United States, but the marble, the granite comes from Ephesus.
Right.
And I order those. I will always carry those.
Right.
I will always carry those. In fact, I'm trying to figure out some way to make a grander type display for them, so I can have more. Because, I mean, they're just
You even have a couple of the bigger ones
the
too,
trivet.
right?
Yeah.
The
They're like a
trivets, yeah.
Christian, a kitchen trivet,
Right,
And
right.
you can actually put heat
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And then they have different they have ornaments that for Christmas, or just that if you want it with a little rope that you can hang. And then we have 2 or 3 different sizes. They have vertical ones. I kind of keep the big and the small, though they're my biggest demands. But I mean, it doesn't matter what I sell that day, I'm gonna sell a stone.
Right. Right.
And I'm so grateful that to have that company in my back pocket because,
Yeah.
and people tell me all the time that's their favorite little.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have other things too,
Yes.
books and different things, and obviously you said the little wooden hearts. Those are olive wood from Bethlehem. That a little man
And you'll have the crosses
the
too.
crosses also,
Yep.
the little pocket crosses.
Mhm.
I try hard to really look for things that are affordable,
Right.
that are special, that that somebody's always going to. I mean, I spent the night at my daughter's house the other day, and I'm staying in the guest room, and I look on the table, and there's a little scripture stone sitting there, and I don't know. Sydney likes to come shops, but I really think I probably gave it to her as a gift, and it's sitting out, and it just made me feel good.
Yes.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sweet, and I've used it over and over and over as a gift. In fact, sometimes somebody's birthday runs around again. I thought, did I give her a stone last year? Because maybe I don't know which one I gave her. Maybe I could, but I don't think you could get too many of them.
Right. Right. I love them too. Well, I know as we wrap up, one of the things that I just want to talk about is, as you're going through life, don't forget to take a moment, and number one, minister to others. It doesn't take a lot, um, to pour yourself into someone. It's like no matter where you're at, my kids have always said it doesn't matter where we go. She'll talk to anybody. You know, she'll talk to anybody. And I love
accused of that
people.
too. I've been accused of that too.
I love people, but I start every day asking the Lord to open the door and give me an opportunity to be a light in someone's life today. Give me an opportunity to witness. Give me an opportunity to be a light. And when people say that they never have anyone to witness to, I'm like,
And
then
they're not looking.
you're not looking, because if you go to the store, you have an opportunity to pour into someone's life. And it doesn't have to be a grand gesture to do that. It's the little things. It's sitting at a restaurant and asking your waiter or your waitress about them. And is there anything that I can pray for you? I mean, you do not have to go out of your way to be a light in this world. On social media, it is so discouraging to see how people talk to one another, how people treat one another, and it's just so discouraging. And it just doesn't take anything to be kind, and it doesn't take much as a Christian, as a Christ follower, for me to ask someone how they're doing. Is there anything that I can pray for you about? And as a business owner, and of course, I'm in ministry. And so, you know, I I want to make an impact across everyone that I come in front of. And so I would love for you and Madison to each just take a moment and just give a word of encouragement and what it means to you to take those little moments, those little sparks of the day, and to pour into someone else's life.
I during the day, during my day job, I work with a, a wide range of people, backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, daily lives. Some are avid churchgoers, some aren't.
Right.
And I lead a Bible study every Friday, as I've talked about before, um, for all of these people in different walks.
Right.
And I think it is so important to always, and I can't think of the right words, put myself where they are
Yeah.
and try to say, what would help me today?
Mm-hmm.
And, we are called to love people
Yeah.
just like Christ loves us.
Yeah.
And, you just mentioned the social media, how I mean, let's just, for lack of better word, say it can be a devil's playground sometimes.
Yes.
And I actually had I hired a consultant to help us grow our social media a couple of years ago. And the first thing I was encouraged to do was not talk about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That my logarithm or algorithm, whatever that word is, would take a tank. And maybe so. I don't care if I have 3 followers. I
Yeah.
will not be silenced
Right.
for my faith.
That's right.
And I again, that's a hill I will die on.
Right.
And I
Amen.
believe that
Same.
if we continue to serve Him, if God is in it, He will make a way.
That's
He
right.
will flourish that. And it's sometimes just up to us to plant a seed.
That's right.
And it may be up to us to water it.
Right.
It may be wherever they are in their life, we're there, and we are to ask God to use our gifts and our talents and our, if nothing else, our love, just to love people.
Right.
And sometimes that will turn someone's day around quicker than anything.
Yes.
And I want to sometimes scream as loud as I can behind my keyboard at people and say, you are not changing hearts
Right.
by alienating and being ugly and y- it's your approach more than it's your heart. I appreciate passion for a stance,
Right.
and I appreciate a good debate, but you're not changing hearts.
One of the things I say often, don't I, Madison, is you do not win battles or change hearts on social media.
Yeah.
And I do not engage in the back and forth. Like I may go a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2, but then it's usually I shut it down. I'm usually like, hey, I'll send like a direct message or something. I'll say, hey, I would love to meet you for coffee and let's talk about this. Because number one, you're not changing anyone's mind on social media at all. And what happens is you spark these very spirited debates in that that people are going to start attacking one another, right? So and everyone,
You,
right?
it's they,
and
you feel the fire,
right, right. And everybody who knows me knows where I stand on things. I'm a very transparent person and I'm a very passionate person, but I'm passionate with love and respect. And if it's something that you want to argue with me about, I'm just not going to do it on social media. Number one, I'm not going to have people attack you. And I'm not going to have people attack other people.
Right.
And so what I do is ask, hey, let's meet for coffee and talk about this. Because usually once you get face to face, those things are worked out. And you have more common ground than what you could ever have on social media.
Right.
Social media, just people fuel into that. It's like we're in a time where people are keyboard warriors. And, I think social media can be used for some of the best things, but I want to caution you to not allow yourself. I had a friend whose son got killed in Ukraine last week, and someone said something negative about her. But they didn't put it on social media. But she put what they said on social media, trying to figure out who all this person had said it to. And I just, I talked to her and I said, number one, you're grieving right now. And I don't know why this person said what they said. But what I want to encourage you to do is to take that down. Because number one, you're grieving right now.
Emotions.
You're grieving for your son right now. And you don't really need to know who she said this to. You really don't need to know because it doesn't affect you. And what happens if you leave that up is you're going to have people fueling your emotions. And we've got to be careful with that. I think so many times people put things out there and they start this back and forth and they don't even realize what it's doing to them mentally. And so we need to guard our hearts and guard our minds in Christ Jesus and not open the door for Satan to have a foothold to allow that kind of stuff into our life that really does mess with us emotionally and mentally,
Yes.
So,
Well, and I'm one of these that I hold my heart on my sleeve. I
yeah,
really-
yeah,
And my feelings are hurt over things. And
yeah,
I mean, my greatest fear is Pretties and Grace is going to get a bad review, or someone's going to say on one of those rants pages, and they're going
right,
to say they did this and that. And honestly, I'm not going to say everybody's had a very perfect experience. No one's perfect, but man, we try hard.
yeah,
And I will be the first, Madison will be the first, Cindy will be the first to make it right. Whatever we can do to make it right. If we
yeah,
make a mistake, that's what it is an honest mistake.
yeah,
Right.
And so I just encourage everyone to practice the good old golden rule.
yeah, yeah.
But I didn't mean to take
No,
over. And
no, no,
Madison,
no.
well, you can tell how you would.
Yeah. I mean, I think about when it comes to serving others specifically, I think it takes a lot of humbleness and selflessness to come to a place to serve and love others and be more like Jesus. And I just feel like, especially in today's world, we live in a very selfish world where everything's about ourselves
Right.
and what can please me and what benefits me. And so when I think about serving others and just every single day asking God to, God, help me be more like you and serving and loving others, I think that's really important. And so just always making sure to kind of check myself,
Right.
become more humble and more loving and
Mhm.
gracious and forgiving towards others.
Mhm.
So,
And we never know what that person on the other side is going through.
right.
Never.
We never know. I mean, we don't really know, honestly, what someone is walking through in their life.
There's been so many times I've received an email at work that's just not about Pretties and Grace, but just a work email that's frustrated me. And I'm like, and I'm like,
Delete.
and I mean, my friend Becky and I, we had to talk about this yesterday. She said, I'm not going to respond to that today. I'm going to go sleep on it. I said, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think if everyone would practice the pause, I think
Yes,
we
I
talked
have to.
about.
I have to practice the pause sometimes.
I mean,
yeah.
it, and it's, the Lord made us emotional. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be passionate. It's okay to be hurt, to be sad, to be mad, to be, happy, to be sad, all the things.
Right.
But misguided emotion is or can be so hurtful.
Yeah.
And that's just something that, that social media has made it too normal.
Right. As we're sitting here talking about that, Terry, I go back to the story that you told earlier of the customer that you had whose husband had passed away, and how she sought refuge and peace at Pretties and Grace. What if she would have taken a different approach and went on social media? How differently her emotions could have been fed that day rather than seeking what is best for her. What a testimony to what you've built at Pretties and Grace.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a team, and man, the Lord has just, like, if I really told you the nuts and bolts of the story, like,
Right.
we don't owe a lot of money.
Yeah.
I could liquidate and walk away. He has just opened every door
That's amazing.
and provided. Every one of your checks have cleared.
Lord.
I'm able to give back. And,
Yeah.
now, we're not building great wealth
Right.
as far as money goes,
Yeah.
but that's not the purpose. I have gotten to know people, like Madison said, more intimately, that to connect with our customers.
Yeah.
And I just, Cindy, it's 2 or 3 times a week, she'll say, I have to tell you about this. I have to tell you what this customer said, or, and it's just, and I mean, I have customers reaching out to me. And when you hear it about our 16-year-olds, how they've witnessed to them, I mean,
Right. Yeah.
that's good.
It's a
That's good stuff. And that's not me.
Yeah.
That's him.
Well, it is the Lord, but it's a testimony to the vision and what you have casted. You've casted the net for your team, for your staff, because they could go work at a different home decor or a different gift place, and that same net is not casted. And it's a very different environment. And so it is the Lord, but it's you that has allowed the Lord to work through you and you being obedient to what He's called you to do. And I just want to thank you for being such an inspiration because you truly are. And you are truly a light in this community. So
are you.
before we get all emotional,
How long did he say me that?
so I mean, sometimes we're going to tell him we just need a live broadcast for like 5 hours, and someone waiting on us with coffee. Yeah. But I just want to thank you for joining us in the Grace Space today. Whether you are picking up things for the beach, getting ready for that vacation, or praying with a friend, or just needing a moment of inspiration, we hope that this episode reminds you that you are seen, that you are loved, and that you are never walking alone. Be watching the social medias, be watching for Madison and Terri and the things that they are going to be bringing to us very shortly. Some really good news.
Kind of got a secret.
Yeah, kind of got a secret. We love secrets around here. And on top of that, starting next month in the Grace Space, we're going to have a little extra addition to that we're really excited about. So make sure to join us next time. And if you want to help us in this journey, please make sure to like and share this podcast. We are on all podcast stations, YouTube, and you can subscribe to my Substack, which is free. But please help us to grow this. We love ministering, and I love doing what I do to try to minister to the hearts of women and bring you truth, obviously, unfiltered. And sometimes it's about the love, and sometimes it's about the hard things in life that we have to talk about. But I just ask that you share this podcast with your friends if you've been inspired today. Thank you for joining us in the Grace Space. This is Kandi Cox with Kandi Unfiltered.
This episode is brought to you by Pretties Grace, a faith-based boutique offering high-quality home decor and gifts at prices for every budget. From stunning vases and greenery to statement seasonal pieces for every holiday, plus the sweetest gifts, they truly have it all. Pretties Grace has 3 locations, their main store in the heart of downtown Benton, along with shops in Malvern and Fayetteville. You can also browse and shop online at prettiesandgrace.com. A huge thank you to Pretties Grace for sponsoring this episode.